On today's episode, we will talk with Karen Knight about how she uses singing and acting for the Lord, and then later we will discuss if we could live anywhere else, where would we live? Parker has never been thrilled about going to baseball practice. He enjoys game day and being part of the team, but will almost always complain about heading to practice. You see, practice is never the fun part, but it is the necessary part. It's the part where you grow in your skills, learn the fundamentals, and connect with your team. It can bring tears, it will cause you to sweat, and it will show the areas that you are weak in. Is it the fun part? Probably not. But as I said earlier, it is the necessary part. It's the same with our walk with God if we truly want to keep moving forward with Him. We must spend time studying the Word of God on our own personal time. We must take the effort to change our thinking and the way we act when things come at us that are hard. We need to be diligent in seeking Him in our prayer and worship. It's a discipline, it's a commitment, and it's not always easy, but it is always worth it. As you work on your relationship with Christ, you will see that when struggles arise, you can find joy. And when times are tough, you will have hope. And most importantly, you can be confident that God desires to bless you and bring your dreams into reality. This journey with God, it requires discipline, it requires commitment, but anything worth anything does. And this walk with Him is worth it. It's worth our time, it's worth our energy, it's worth our very last breath. Hebrews 12:11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." So, what are you willing to do today to move forward in your walk with Christ? What discipline might be needed? What changes might you need to make? And are you willing? What Parker learns in practice absolutely benefits him during the game. The practice isn't the fun part, but the important part. In our walk with Christ, as we work on things in our personal life, we will absolutely see the benefits as we move forward. It is the important part. And we are just three ladies, all with big opinions, always backed by a biblical standpoint. So let's talk about it.
This segment is brought to you by Harry's Construction, whose motto is, "If you can dream it, we can create it." They are the kitchen and bath design experts, so call Harry's Construction for all your remodeling needs.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. And ladies, I just had a question that I was thinking about. If you could live anywhere else, would you live somewhere else? Where would it be and why? And so, Tracy, where would you live if you could live somewhere else?
So I have two answers.
Okay.
I hope that's okay.
Yes.
So if I could live anywhere and I had everybody with me that I love, it would be New Zealand.
Okay.
I know it's so far, but it was like the most stunning. It was when I was there, I fell in love with the people. They were all the kindest. Like, you know, you go to a small town and you feel like everyone's so sweet, and you know, when you're in like a suburb or a city, it's just like hustle and bustle. People aren't like making eye contact. But in New Zealand, people were so genuine and so kind, and the landscaping everywhere you drove was captivating, like snow-capped mountains and then these emerald lakes and the green grass with the sheep everywhere, and it was like breathtaking. So that would be like dreamy, but that's not realistic.
Okay, well maybe it could be.
I mean, I don't want to go far.
Makes me want to visit now.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't want to, yeah, that would just be if everyone could be with me. The other place would be with my whole family, which is outside of, like in the suburbs of Philadelphia.
So you've lived there, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm born and raised, and I'm the one that felt God speak very clearly, like move, you know. And so when I moved to Tyrone, I was young and single, and now I have a family and children, and it's like really hard because all of my siblings are there.
Okay.
And my parents are there, and so all of my children's cousins, and we're all very close. And so that's where I would love to be, but I know that's not where God has me.
Right.
And so here I am.
How about you, Teresa?
I feel like there's a line in, I believe it's Pretty Woman, when he says to her, I can take you out of here and put you in a penthouse somewhere, and she looks at him and she says, but that's just geography. And that line always stayed with me because I lived in Hawaii, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. I never had to worry about what I was going to wear. It was shorts and flip-flops every day of my life for 2 years. And my son was born there. And I had beautiful things to look at every single day. And yet my heart was always heavy because I had this beautiful son and I had no family there to share him with. So it was just geography. But I feel like, and I have written down here, you know, I've mentioned it before that I aspired to move to Florida a few years ago, and then my granddaughter Noah was born, and that dream faded very quickly. But I now realize that things in my life that happened 30 some years ago have all led, like I can see a turning point in my life 30 years ago that was the beginning of me landing where I'm at today. So I think I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I am totally at peace with that. Because I can always go visit other places. I can see the world.
Right.
It's pretty, you know, but I think I'm where I'm supposed to be.
It's a great answer.
Yeah.
I really
Really
am.
great. Yeah, what about you?
For me, there was absolutely a time that if you were to say that you were going to live in Altoona for your entire life, because pretty much I have, except for a few years of college, that I would have said, you're wrong. That is not going to be the case. Because I never really liked Altoona, to be honest. I just feel like it's like, there was times I was just like, ugh. And when I went to college, I lived in Springfield, Missouri. I attended college in Missouri, and I always have such a heart for that place. Probably because, one, I had some amazing years and experiences there. I was living on my own. I love the church. Not that I don't love our church, but I love the church there. And just there was growth as a young adult. There were things that I experienced on my own. And so I always have such a heart for that place. I always thought, the people here are very kind, very outgoing. The prices are cheaper, like things are cheaper there. You still mostly get like the Four Seasons. So I always loved Springfield, Missouri. But I will say that as I grew closer to the Lord, when I moved back home and just really focused in on Him, He gave me a heart for this city. He gave me a heart for Altoona, that I know that this is where we are meant to be right now, that this is the place He has us, that He's going to work things out here. And now I have a joy living here, and I want to be here, and I know that it's where I'm supposed to be. So I do believe that if we allow God to lead, we can have a joy wherever we are. And you're right, it's not about geography, it's about the heart of what God's doing in and through us, and being with family and friends and being used by God. And so I think that's the difference. So you can love any place you are.
Yes. And I just look at like the time that we were born and the time that we're living in compared to like centuries ago when you couldn't travel safely. You didn't have the means to travel safely. And, or if you did, it took you like forever to get to some place. And so we have a luxury today that we can go and visit places and we can enjoy places. And so if I end up living out all my days in Altoona, I'm totally okay with that. I think what would make me want to leave is if my kids moved.
Yeah.
But then I know people that would give up everything here and move to where their kids are. And I don't know that we're meant to do that either. Like, I don't know that we're meant to do that.
I think the most important thing is to be directed by God.
Yes.
Because if you're going to allow him to direct where you're going to be, then you're going to love where you are. But if you go where you want and where you think you'll be, then issues are going to probably arise.
Yes.
So we all live here in Altoona, Tyrone area. So if you were going to say to somebody that's like, I don't want to live in Altoona and Tyrone, what would you say as something to encourage them, like something you love about the area you live in?
I love the community that I'm part of. So I think that's like, because God's in it and I know that he called me there, like even when times are hard, I have that anchor to stay, because I'm like, you're doing something, and I do see the fruit of it now, so I think I would say, like, when you seek the Lord, what community are you supposed to be a part of? Because I don't have immediate family. Like, I have my father-in-law and brother-in-law and sister-in-law close, but like I don't have my personal family here, but I have family, like people that love my children the way they love their own, and we take care of each other. And we're seeking the Lord together, which is really, really beautiful. And it may be small, but it's really mighty to me. Like, it's so special. And I think that is probably the biggest thing. I also do love that Central Pennsylvania has 4 seasons. Like, you said that. And I really don't know if I could live, like, I love the beach. I love the mountains. I love to go visit those places. But I love that we get to experience summer, fall, winter, and spring. And I see God's beauty in his hand through all of the changes of seasons. And I do try to take time to admire that and appreciate it.
What would you tell somebody that's like, I don't know?
If you just drive down 6th Avenue, you would want to head back out on 7th. I remember when I came here for a house hunting trip, and I thought, you've got to be kidding me. But it has taken me 20 some years to develop here. I could move to Florida. There's nothing stopping me. But I don't know that I would gain down there what I have here at this stage of my life. What it has taken me over 20 years to develop here. I have friends here. There's good people in Altoona. There are very good people in Altoona, and I hold them very dear to my heart. And I don't know that I would find that to this degree somewhere else.
What I feel, 4 seasons for sure. Love fall. Fall's my favorite. So when you get to see the leaves and the colors and everything in Pennsylvania, I mean, I just don't know if there's anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure there is, but it's beautiful here. So I love that. But on a personal note, just the times that we've got to talk to people, even on this show, and these are people from this area. And hearing their stories and hearing what they've gone through or what they've created, it's like, wow, we have good people here. And sometimes Altoona can get a bad rap, but we have good people here. We have people who are doing things for the Lord, who are creating things, who have come out of horrible situations, but who now have joy and peace here in Altoona.
Yes, and I feel like right now it doesn't look so nice out.
You're right.
But pretty soon it's going to be beautiful. And when you're coming down 17th Street from up at the shopping center, and you look out at those mountains, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And let's not
my
take it
children
for
like take pictures all the time driving from Tyrone to Altoona, or like Tyrone to State College. Both, they love just the mountains when the sun's setting.
Highlands of Great Worth.
Yes, that's right.
That's what it means. Altoona means Highlands of Great Worth.
Oh, that's awesome.
So let's not take where we live for granted. And instead it says in Joshua 24:15, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Serve the Lord where you're at, where he puts you. See what he'd have you do right here in Altoona. And when we come back, we will have our guest for the day.
Impact Productions, a multi-layer technology company providing on-site, online, and in-studio video services. Contact Impact Productions to capture your story.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. And today we have a very special guest with us who does a lot of things to entertain people. But introduce yourself to us first.
I'm Karen Knight, and I travel as a speaker, singer, and actress with Heart Songs Ministries.
We love that, and we love what you do. And what got you started into this?
Oh my goodness, where do I start with that? I have always loved to sing. I've always loved, I went to college for music. But I guess probably my ministry actually began when I went to Sight and Sound as an actress. And I was there for a number of years doing a number of different characters from the Bible.
That must have just been amazing.
It was amazing. I rode the ark for a lot of years. And it was a wonderful opportunity. Since I have left Sight and Sound, I travel all over wherever I'm invited and to different theater companies and so forth, doing different roles. And also my own ministry where I take on the character of some of the women in the Bible and give the opportunity for women's events and churches to get to know these women and find out that a lot of what happened to them in the Bible happens to us in today's world.
I love that. That is really a neat, I think it's needed too. Like, so a way to teach women about, in a way that can connect. So that's really neat. I love that. What was maybe one of your favorite roles that you've ever done?
Oh gosh, well I loved being Mrs. Noah. I did love being Mrs. Noah. Even though I thought it would be a seasick kind of experience, it wasn't. It was wonderful. And as far as my own women that I have studied about in the Bible and then become that woman when I do some women's events or church events. I think my favorite person is the woman at the well, and mostly because she just is so real and she has problems and difficulties just like we all do, but oh, how much she learned and how much she was changed just by an encounter with Jesus. So
yeah, that is a great one.
It is.
That's a really good one.
So when you're traveling to all these different places and doing all these different characters, you know, you probably get to meet a lot of different people and you get to see a lot of different scenery. What has the traveling part been like for you?
Well, the traveling part can be a joy and not so fun at the same time. But I have gotten to do Bible characters and Bible women in a lot of different parts of the world that I never expected when I began this ministry. I was invited by the Chaplains Corps in South Korea to go to South Korea to speak to our women that are wives of the military people on base. And I had the opportunity to go out to the DMZ and speak to the people who were guarding that area at the DMZ. It was an amazing, amazing experience. I was able to do Martha of Bethany for them, and that was a joy to be able to do. I have also traveled to Israel, and I did Mary Magdalene at the open tomb in Israel. That was an amazing experience. So I've had opportunities to speak to people in all different parts of the world, and you know, the Lord is the great denominator there. He's the one who draws us all together, and so it was actually it was a little fearful when I was going to all of these different countries and doing different things, but I discovered that we are one in Christ, and that was a wonderful experience each place I've had a chance to go.
Wow. How lucky. I mean, really. Truly lucky to get to experience things like that and to travel like that. I just think that I would love that.
And to do what you love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you get to do what you love.
Yes.
Like so many people don't get to do what they really love.
Yeah, that's a true blessing.
It
That's a true
is.
blessing. The hard part was taking all the costumes and things that had to go with me.
I was thinking, like, do you have normal clothes and then you have your costume clothes, and how many
yes.
suitcases do you take? And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
struggle
a lot.
to take just one suitcase when I go on trips, so
Yes.
I'm not really sure.
It's not so bad when I'm traveling in the United States and traveling by car, but boy, when I'm flying, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be paying for a lot of checked bags.
Yes, I was. I was.
There's
That
no way
and
to get around
props.
that.
And,
Oh,
you know,
props,
things
yeah.
that I hold in my hand when I'm talking, you know, as the character.
Yeah.
You know, I had to figure out how to do small ones as opposed to large ones. So,
Do you
yeah,
create and write all your own scripts?
I do.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
do.
amazing. I was
Yes, I do.
That is, wow.
Some of the music that I sing in my dramas, women's dramas, some of the music is music that I have paid for, that's somebody else's music that I choose to use, but some of it is music that I have come up with, I have written the lyrics to, and I have some wonderful musicians that have put them to music and made the tracks for me. So,
Oh, wow, that's
but that's
really
the other issue of traveling. You have all that to travel with too.
Yes.
And you simply, like, you go alone. Or do you have a small team, or how does that work?
I take a team if I can,
Okay.
depending on where it is. I take a team, and so it just depends on where I'm going and what they can do and what I can do, and so.
Such courage involved in that.
Yeah, right?
Well, I don't know if it's courage or I don't know what you'd call it.
Oh, really?
I do think it is.
Yeah, courage and just willing
Well,
to
faith,
explore and faith, going where God
Boldness,
leads.
really going into those, going into other places and countries.
Yeah.
Like, that is.
That part does take courage.
Bravery,
I
yes.
completely agree.
Especially probably
Yeah.
more.
Yes, and especially
Recently.
now. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't done as much overseas recently because of that,
Right.
because of the travel issues. But having the opportunity even to go into different parts of the country and speak to women's groups and churches, in other parts of the country have been. That's been quite an experience as well.
Yeah,
So
I would love
I was an Air Force brat, so.
Oh, okay. So you're a
used to
little bit
moving,
used
yeah.
to
I know how to go from place to place, and unfortunately, I also know how to pack in a very small bag. Because
I need maybe some teaching on that. I am not good at that.
That's funny, you say an Air Force brat.
So what's next for you? Where do you see things headed, or what's on your schedule?
Well, I am currently looking at the summer because we have a huge birthday of the United States coming up. And I love historical people as well as biblical people to try to figure out who they were, what they did. And so I have some opportunities to use my knowledge of that to do some women's events and church events. I have one musical drama that's based on the life of Abigail Adams, who was our second First Lady. And she was an amazing character, very whimsical, kind of funny in a lot of ways, and very feministic. She wanted the country to go the way she wanted it to go, and she was quite an influence on her husband. So I dress in her style of clothing for the day, and then I do a 15 to 20 minute, sometimes 30-minute little musical production of the music of that time and some of the things that she experienced that you find in her letters. So I've taken all those things from her letters and I become that person. So I'm going to be doing that some this summer, hopefully in this area as well. So
I love that. One thing I love about this is all the costumes you would get to wear.
Yeah.
Because I love to dress up, so it would be
Yes.
so fun to be all the different characters. I think that would be.
I'm not crazy about the wigs, though. That's not my favorite part.
But you obviously love history. You love
do.
the Word of God, but you also just love history. Which,
I do.
I mean, if you're taking the time to create all of this,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I
is
do.
Really cool.
a passion, I'm sure.
It is. I go back and try to learn everything I can about the character and then try to find entertaining moments, not just historical facts but entertaining moments, because she was quite a funny little character. I also do the Battle Hymn of the Republic. The woman who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic, Julia Ward Howe, I also do her. And her costume is different because she was Confederate, during the Confederate time. And the Abigail Adams, of course, is colonial America. So different costumes.
Very neat. I am so glad we had you today to share so that people can hear about what you do, because it is really an awesome thing. And we're so excited to see what you do next. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And when we come back, we will have our verse of the day.
Made by Vogel is a father and son business that produces high-quality handmade wooden products such as cutting boards, bowls, bottle stoppers, and more. Products for sale can be found on their Etsy site or in downtown Altoona at the Clay Cup. You can't go wrong buying from Made by Vogel.
Next time on Let's Talk About It, we will be discussing the importance of planning, and we will have Amber Packard as our special guest.
And it's sad, but they're waiting on a wait list for a long time. We don't have bigs that are volunteering. And we match them up with someone that is also interested in what they're interested in. So you're just having fun with a kid for 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 2 times a month. It's not a lot. We always say it takes very little to be big.
All that and more on Let's Talk About It.
Today's verse is found in Romans 8:28 and says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." This verse explains that he will actively work through all circumstances for the ultimate spiritual benefit of believers who love him. It's not guaranteeing an easy life, but promising divine orchestration for our growth and conformity to Christ's image. It assures us that God's greater plan for his people will not be thwarted, even amidst hardships. It's for his ultimate glory, building faith and character. He's actively working everything for our good. Trust him as he does and love him above all. And until next week, let's talk about it.
Since 1929, my family has helped keep your family at home.
Ask for Dick's Home Care.
I don't allow my disability to stop me from living the life I choose. Dick's Home Care has provided me with everything I need to be mobile.
Don't let mobility challenges hold you back. Call today to learn how Dick's Home Care can empower you to live life on your own terms. Call the leader in home health care equipment, Dick's Home Care.